Welcome back, my extraterrestrial mafia. This is New Toon Tuesday, and I'm AlienMafia. And in today's episode, we're covering over a super strength fire aura brute. And this was a build for a viewer, and he was interested in taking super speed as his chop power. Uh, super strength, it's a pretty straightforward power selection. Is jab, punch, haymaker, knockout blow, rage, of course, and foot stomp. Hurl is a skippable power in my opinion because its animation is too long for the little damage it does. So we have another single target power that we can use for whatever this person needs it for. Taunt we skipped because Fire Aura is what I would like to consider as like a damaging secondary power and not much of a tanking secondary. It can do some tanking, but it's not like what a stone tank is or invulnerability or things like that. So we skipped taunt because this is a damaging type of power character. Hand clap is actually a pretty decent power nowadays because you can convert the knockback to knockdown. But because this is not a tanking type of character, we decided to skip it. But for tanks, it's actually kind of handy because it'll disorient and knock down enemies with a pretty good range, 15 feet. Fiery aura, fire shield. It's I grabbed all of them. Temperature protection, I skip because we really don't need the fire resistance. As you can see, we're capped on fire resistance without it. Cold resistance would be kind of handy, but there's not a whole lot of cold damage in the game. And the slow resistance. Slow resistance would be handy, but I personally I feel like it's not worth the power slot. So I generally skip it. Plasma shield, consume. Consume is going to be needed. Endurance should be okay, but every now and then, if you got debuffs and stuff like that, consume will come in handy. Burn, of course, fire embrace, and then rise the phoenix in case you die. Combat jumping, kick, tough weave, maneuvers, Pyro Mastery. We wanted the extra damage, so char, melt armor, fireball, and slots wise. So we went punch, 4 slots for smashing lethal defense. We have our defense capped for smashing lethal. Thanks for plus recharge in this first power, so this will come in super handy and get your recharge boosted up as often as possible. Jab also 4 slotted. We were kind of short on slots every now and then, so this is why this is only 4 slotted instead of 5, because normally I do 5 on most attack powers. Haymaker's got the regen endurance ATO in here. Fire shield, unbreakable guard with the max HP with plus 3% defense and knockback protection. Healing flames, smashing lethal resistance. We didn't need 6 slots here, so we just did the 5. Knockout blow, smashing lethal defense, chance for hold in there, so you have a double chance for hold. Power itself plus the IO. So this can be really good against bosses. Blazing aura, damage toggles in general. I do a freaking slotting thing that I've done since live, and I've loved it. I can't go back to just slotting the power with one single set. So here you have a chance for resist debuff, which increases not only your damage but the damage of everyone on the team. Chance for knockdown, it's extra protection. Chance for fire, chance for energy. These together will do more damage than what the power will do. And then here you have accuracy and endurance, and then accuracy, damage, and endurance, just to help out the accuracy and endurance. Hasten 2 slots, super speed endurance reduction, plasma shield 4 slots, unbreakable guard with the gladiator armor, plus 3% defense. Rage, we went with the 3 slots in here, the chance for buildup, and then the recharge IOs. Getting extra to hit in here isn't super needed because it's already high enough. So we focused on the recharge IOs in it to get, and then the set bonus will give us the hit points. So the 3 slots is there for a reason. I mean, if you really want to sacrifice the hit points, you can just switch these out for a recharge, so you can get this done even farther. But right now it's permanent, so you're good to go for that. Consume 3 slots, you get hit points here too, but this is focused on accuracy and recharge with the slotting. Combat jumping, we were able to get the scaling resistance in here and the shield wall resistance in here, along with another knockback. This will help out with all your resistances total to push them up even higher. The scaling resistance will max out at 10% extra resistance at low life. Default, it's 3 at max life, so 3 all the way up to 10 as you lose life. Burn and foot stomp, we did the brute trick. We have the 3 slots of the ATO here and the 3 slots of the other ATO here, of the same ATO here. This will give us a lot of smashing lethal defense, 10%, and 6% to hit, 6% hit points between the 2 powers. So this is an amazing little trick. This was something I learned early on in the server. So this was a nice little trick. And we also combined it with the overwhelming force. So overwhelming force will give us extra regen and a damage buff. So together, it gives us really good numbers, really good set bonuses, and having 2 powers of it is amazing. Maneuvers, weave, 3 slots. If you could have 4 slots, you can do more in here to get the smash and lethal resistance, 5 slots. But I generally just do 3 because there's a lot of other powers that need slots. Char is your single target attack that you can like pull with or hit with. This is a hold in it with a chance for hold in it, so this will come in handy against bosses, Hamadon, things like this. So this will come in super handy. Melt armor does resist debuff to a mob, but it also has a chance for resist debuff in it. So this can do up to 29.75% resist debuff. This comes in super handy from time to time. It's not permanent and nowhere near it, but it'll come in handy in boss fights and stuff like that. Fireball, chance for knockdown in it. Target AoE sets in general, I dislike all the sets in targeted AoE. I wish that they had a little bit more friendly set bonuses in them towards builds. But in this case, we didn't need the slots for it, so we just went with the Ragnarok for the extra damage, the set bonuses, and then the knockdown, and then Rise of the Phoenix. Health, of course, recovery, miracle, panacea, and preventive medicine. We didn't need the defense out of agility incarnate slot, agility incarnate alpha slot. So in this case, we went with the spiritual core, extra recharge, and then the healing. So normally I go with agility. It's a nice encompassing buff to your recharge / defense / damage, and then endurance recovery. Here you have spiritual core for the recharge and the healing. So this pushed us up pretty high, close to what I wanted for the attack chain and stuff like that. Which is, of course, punch, haymaker, jab, and then knockout blow, which is right here. Knockout blow's recharge is really long, so you need 3 powers to cycle between before you use knockout blow. I wish you could skip like punch. You just do jab, haymaker, jab, and knockout blow. But the cast time of these 2 powers 3 times doesn't match the cooldown of knockout blow, so it doesn't really work out. So you need the 3 powers. And numbers wise, again, 46.6% smash and lethal defense. That's all you really need, because you don't have any defense debuff resistance. So if you get defense debuff resisted, that'll get knocked down below 45, and your defense is no longer needed. So it's nice to have this defense for a lot of content as just a clear buffer for like alpha strikes from enemy groups. So when you first jump in, they all attack you. This is just an extra little cover for that initial strike, and then the resistances will take over. And that's it. Thanks everyone for watching. If you've learned something or you have an opinion on maybe a change, leave a comment. I do read them. I do listen. If you are interested in having me make a build for you, or having me make a build to compare to one that you already have, there's a link in the description for a Google spreadsheet. Enter your information there, and I'll get around to making that build. If you like what I'm doing, please leave a like. It's something I wanted to do for a long time, to try and help out the community in building characters that are what I like to call self-efficient in both survivability and damage, and all encompassing everything. So I hope someone out there has learned from this. I hope the person that this build was for enjoys it. That's right, I do make these builds Monday nights around 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That does alter from time to time because I do have a full-time job and schooling. And I hope everyone has a good day and good night.